Dude, there are two PVM for stage by the way. One guitar and one bass for stage.
नहीं bass के लिए लेनी डाला. Nice लेनी.
क्या फ्रेम के साथ ज़्यादा ऐसा चिपक रहा नहीं है ना इसमें. ऐसा लगना भी नहीं चाहिए.
एक काम कर, तू इधर बैठ नंदा, इसको इधर आना.
नहीं लंबा है.
Tall है.
स्क्रीन के
आ
बाहर
जाएगा पूरा. But what's your angle? अच्छा, मैं है ना बात.
हाँ.
इसका नया पैंट आ रहा है ना.
अच्छा
मिडिल बॉल नहीं आ रहा. हमें फुल आ रहा है ना. हाँ नहीं आ रहा, फुल आ रहा है.
Can you tell us how bass का रखना? Can you रखना दोनों पे?
Wait, one second. Actually मैं क्या करता है?
ऐसा लगा.
I think I should.
So you wear it over it, you become more. Oh,
Decent shirt पहनता है.
when did you get that from? एक बार देखिए ना, तेरा हिसाब से.
मेरा क्या दिस?
पूरा इंटरव्यू दे रहे हैं. शूटिंग चल रहा है. पहली बार. 5-10 मिनट के.
क्या बोलते in general, and how you picked up your first instrument and started playing music.
You ask me.
Everyone.
Start from
Actually, everyone who says it.
He's got the best story.
Start from
From Viru.
No, Ashish.
Viru.
From Rohit.
Arey, you are in loss. You start first.
No, from Rohit.
No.
Nikhil.
What? You are also, you will headline.
Okay, let's say Nikhil.
I was inspired mostly by Guns N' Roses.
Can you?
I was inspired by Guns N' Roses and I used to watch a lot of videos and all the long hair and all that shit. So I decided to pick it up.
Yes. Heavy metal, punk, rock and roll.
Like or
Little bit more better.
More
More
He
better.
doesn't like being here. We play punk.
Punk, metal, rock and roll.
So like I was saying, a lot of Guns N' Roses videos inspired me and I took up guitar and thought like I can play something. And the first song that I learned was on acoustic Hotel California, of course. And I was able to play along. And later on I started playing Metallica and all that stuff. And I got my first electric guitar some 8 years back. And that's when I started playing. I jammed a couple of bands, but it didn't work out. Later on, D-Man approached me, did a concert of Hilari, and I was like, it's a good concert, let's join it. So this would be my first band. I have gone that far. That's a good band.
yeah. Who's next now?
Alright. I started playing after I quit engineering. I did 1 year of engineering, I dropped out, joined Xavier's, and I found that every guy and every girl there could retake, and this should. So I did a year of engineering and then I dropped out. I went to Xavier's to pursue an education, and there I found that every guy and girl could play 4 or 5 songs, more than words, Hotel California, some Elvis. And I just started playing naturally, and I think 2 months after playing on my sister's acoustic, I formed a band called Zen, and from there my playing sort of improved. Because I was going to be singing, but then we didn't have a guitar, so I started playing as well. I love playing. I've been playing for 8 years, loving every minute.
Then what else? Like, what are your influences in
Any guitarist I see or hear is an influence, and sadly I can't play all that. So my main influence till today is Mark Knopfler, which reflects on my technique, and I like a guitarist called Pug Dharma from the band Blue Oyster Cult. I like all the guitarists that have been part of Iron Maiden. I like Tipton from Priest, and a whole lot of modern guitarists. A lot of session jazz guys, Steve Lukather, Saul Anderson. I just like listening to these guys. I wouldn't say they're an influence, but maybe a few years down the line they might be an influence when I learn to play properly.
how you got into music and how you picked up an instrument and started playing? I was always into music because my uncle is also a drummer. I was very much inspired by my uncle, and I used to go and attend shows, see my uncle play, see all the other musicians Plus, music was always there in my house all the time. Then when I started going to college, that is when I had met Mithun from PD, and we started jamming and all. We had all the, I think, from the keyboards to drums to everything, all the instruments he had, and we used to sit and experiment and jam on songs, and jam on other covers and all that. After that, I joined this band called Abhor in 2000, which was like a big surprise because I directly started playing death metal and all that stuff, covering 6 feet under and all that. Then around in 2001, I started playing with this band called Cranium from Calcutta, and I also joined the studio in Milapur. That is when I actually started thinking about doing music full time, which I am still trying to manage. And after that, there have been many ups and downs. I joined PDE, and then I joined DR, and right now I'm with Khiladi also. I also have a Hindi band called Raya. So it's been a good journey. Till now, almost like around 8 years.
Though in my house music was always played, there was never any, nobody's into music in my family, and I had to hide and tell them I was playing I didn't know I was playing in a band until 1-2 years down the line. When 1-2 years down the line, they saw Without Violence's photograph in the papers, and I picked up playing bass when I got a drop in the first year engineering. So sitting at home doing nothing, I said, let's pick up an instrument and try and impress something. Nothing worked out, so I just started playing bass. When they got called up to play for a death metal band called Motorcycle, I played with them. I played with another alternative band called Pinky Monkey, and I did a one-off show with another classic rock, classic metal band called Maha. And from there, couple of years, there small stints until I formed PDV, and been stuck around 7-8 years. And then with the end of that, I had time to do Khiladi, which I always wanted to do, but I never had time, so now I'm playing Khiladi. But coming back to the question of how I got into music, yeah, I flunked my first year engineering and I didn't know what to do, so I picked up guitars.
Can you tell us how exactly the band was formed when you formed this concept of Khiladi first?
Actually, what happened is I wanted to do something like, rock and roll, but with death metal. And I asked JP, but JP didn't have time. Then I asked Prashant, and Prashant had no time. And then I'm like, fuck it, I didn't see any more death metal worthy drummers at that time, or death metal worthy guitar players at that time. So I'm like, let me do this because my roots are punk rock. I said I want to also do a punk rock thing with my metal influence, and make it like a fun thing where we enjoy on stage. And I knew Viri was free at that time too. Not free, but I knew I can bully him into playing. And I told him dude, this is what I want to do. You want to do this with me? And he seemed excited. He's getting to try something different. So I got him, and then after a lot of searching, I zeroed in on these two assholes next to me over here, and I've just been playing, jamming, and yeah, it's been super body until now.
What are your lyrical influences, and does it include politics and stuff like that in your?
No man, I don't talk about politics. I don't talk about religion.
Goals.
Yeah, it's happening, dude. How's it going?
Hey,
JK,
dude,
do
I'm tired, dude, already.
work.
Yeah, I bunked work today. I woke up at 3.
Do one song with us today, no, on stage. Do one song with us on stage. No?
Sorry?
Do one song with us on stage today, no?
Which song?
You heard PDV's Independence?
I came into the scene some years back. I didn't even know what PD was like.
I'll catch you inside.
Hey dude, that P stands for Pakoda show, dude. That's all.
Interview.
Hi.
Yeah. What's the question, man?
What are your lyrical influences and?
There are absolutely zero lyrical influences.
Whatever they are, he has to take.
Yeah, because I like to sing about chicks who rejected me, and I get back at them, I give them galis in the song. I like to talk about threesomes. I like to talk about orgies. Sing, not sing also, shout. And also, yes, the hardcore pride. Stand up, stand tall, and you're the best. Fuck the rest.
Are you guys trained? Are you any of you trained in Indian or Western classical music?
All of us. All of us.
I am trained in Indian porn.
I've been trained in Indian classrooms, not classical.
I'm not a musician, man. I can't play music to save my life. I'm a songwriter. That is me. I'm a songwriter. I'm not a musician.
And I'm Indian born.
He's migrant.
You guys have been around at least, as a musician up on stage or as an audience since quite a long time. Can you tell us which Indian bands have influenced you or which Indian bands do you really look up to from in the past few years?
From what I can remember, right at the back there was a band called Rust Angels. There was Millennium. There was Industry. There was Brahma as well when I was a kid. And in the last 10 years, this is all when I was growing up in school. And in the last 10 years, two bands from Bombay, Zero, PDB. Zero for the musical ability and the way they delivered, PDB for the way they controlled the whole place when they got on stage. And a few other bands. There was a band called Friday the 13th from Delhi. I like them. And, I think actually a lot of Indian bands. I've liked a lot of Indian bands. And, whether even if they were amateur, there have been some bands from the Northeast that I remember had come to IIT Bombay to compete. There was a band called Unfade, and that was the first time I heard progressive metal from any band. I mean, they came here twice and they lost in the finals both times. Two good bands. But I keep wondering what's up with them. I think there's been a whole lot of bands. I love music. I love Indian bands. I love music.
Which bands have influenced?
Indian bands.
Sadly, for being such a staunch metaler that I have not been influenced by any metal bands, but two bands that really, just went on stage and did their thing and said, fuck everyone else, we're here to play music and we'll do our music. One was Pentagram for me and one was Zero. And though they are not liked that much in the metal community, at the end of the day, for me, it's good music and bad music. I don't see metal, non-metal and all. So for me, those two bands, I won't say influenced me songwriting wise, but influenced me thinking wise. That until you go out there and don't think you're the best, you shouldn't be on stage.
I think I would go with Pentagram and PD Pintra Brothers because Pintra Brothers was the first band that I saw. I was blown away with the performance. I mean, because they had this aura about them.
Aura.
There was an aura in them. I don't know. The moment they got on stage, they were like chaos everywhere. They were the ones who pulled it off. That one band really inspired them. That's the reason why when the man approached me for Khiladi concert, I instantly said yes. So I knew something was coming.
For me, there have been many influences. I can start with bands like Naked Earth to start off. The energy that I saw on stage when Naked Earth used to perform was that made me start playing music. After that, even when I was not in PDV was like the whole band mad on stage, people going mad, the whole place is going mad. That was awesome. There are many new bands also that I actually feel like going and watching them. Bands like Exclamation or even
Demonic Village.
Pune band.
Fractions.
Fractions. Yeah. All these new bands, there are still bands who are inspiring. What do you think have been the changes in the scene in the past so many years?
I think the first change happened when the Demon Stealer was born. When he attained puberty, he got onto the scene, and I think that's the biggest change that happened. There's just before, AD stands for after Demon Stealer, you know that, right? BC is before Christ, but AD is after Demon Stealer. So he was the biggest change, and a lot of, I forgot to mention him as an influence, for which I'm very sorry. I love his music. I love what he stands for. Let's see.
uh, changes from then till now is definitely a lot more bands concentrate on writing their own songs as opposed to playing covers. That's one. Two is I see a lot of money also being pumped in, even if it's $1 grand, $2 grand, but still it's still money coming in. So there's like that added incentive. Like no band is going to go broke. They'll at least have enough money to change the strings on their guitar. So I think those two are definitely some of the positive changes. And yeah, the crowds have increased. The crowds have become more uh, staunch and dedicated. Like, no, we will support this band. Right? So I think a lot more bands, a lot more very different types of music. Not just thrash metal or just death metal. There's so much more happening. There's so much more music out there.
There are a lot of gigs happening. And Rama's a lot of gigs. Not only
Now fucking cut me off, bitch.
yeah, continue.
मेरा नंबर आएगा.
ऐसा नंबर पर ऐसा एक के बारे में.
Forgot him. Lost my name.
No, I think one change is I go to a music store and I see a full rack of Indian bands. That never happened. I mean, we could buy cassettes from independent stores. That was the only gig that happened once a year. Get on a train, go to Churchgate, walk to Rambo and watch it. Buy a couple of cassettes. I still have cassettes of The World Beyond Brahma. Brahma to hey, Destroy the Destroyer.
Who that album?
That was the album that I got. But that was Agni.
No, Agni was
Mrityunjay.
Mrityunjay.
Yeah, I got that.
That's another thing. Every iRock, like, I always stand in the stalls and I help Counterculture Records and CD sales, and they don't only put their artists, they put all bands. Like,
Yeah.
Out of the goodness of their heart, they are paying for the stall. They're not asking money from the bands over there. Everyone comes, puts up their CDs, and every year I see at least 5 to 10 more new Indian band CDs on that table until there's no place. So now Demon Stealer has his own stall and we have our own stall. At first, even Demon Stealer and everything would be together. And so yeah, a lot more bands, a lot more CDs coming out. It's superb. And that's the only way the scene will grow and in a healthy way. A lot more new music, a lot more original music.
I think it's also because of the accessibility. Like now, people can actually go on MySpace and listen to songs, or go to Facebook and know what all gigs are happening. So basically because of the accessibility, also because of better equipments because of Bajao.
Endorsement is gone.
And places like Fatato.
Endorsement is back.
पहले बजाओ बोला बात करो ना साइन लेने वाला था सिंपल
Loud it.
सब गया अब देखो
नंगा रहेगा तो अभी.
पे इतना अच्छे से बोल रहा है कि एडिट करने को डिफिकल्ट होगा.
Sorry.
So
No, I totally agree.
mostly because of the accessibility. No, I don't think so. So basically because of the accessibility.
No, and also to the people who actually.
तेरा accent क्या है पूछ रही है also to the people who go wow Lolita
Alright, no. What I mean to say is the people who've given their lives to music and music management, right? I think you're going to be doing that, and people like Vijay Nair, even Vishal, they've set up these event companies, artist management companies. I think people did that even in the 90s when I was a kid, but they always folded up within 1 year. I know people who've tried to do artist management and left it and taken up a normal job, but I like the people who are doing it for their living. It's going to help the music, for sure.
What do you think are the problems in the scene currently compared to what it was before?
Women. See, when I was a child, at that time, when I went to a rock show, all the bands were getting action. Even Pentagram, when they used to get bottled by the whole crowd, they're still getting action. And now the band is not getting action. Serious problem. Except P-Man.
what's the question
What are the problems in the scene currently compared to what it was before?
see while there are a lot of new venues opened up, but 99% of those venues only cater to like cover playing and non-metal bands. So I think the biggest problem and the biggest hurdle faced in Mumbai right now is for the metal bands. They don't have venues to play. There's not much support for the metal bands, and I'm not saying only for extreme metal bands. Even your mainstream metal bands found it very difficult to get gigs, very difficult to play venues and all. So that's one big thing. And the other difficulty faced by bands, I think this is still not something that they can do even as a part-time, money source, money income coming in. Like, you can't expect to do this full-time. You can't expect to do this half-time also.
During the old, like around 10 to 15 years back, what were the problems at that time as well?
I don't know, I got into the scene like around 99.
They were getting action.
No, are you mad?
Like how was this? How
There's probably less competition. There are only a couple of bands. This time there are so many bands, and it's definitely healthy competition. But at the same time, there are some shit competition also. Like some bands want to put down some other bands and all. But I think that's going to be prevalent. Like that's like some big boss scene happening. But that's okay, man. That just peps up the other band to do even more better. Like everybody wants to outshine the other bands. That's where we are different. We just come here for the music and just play and give the people who've come their money's worth and go back. Shameless self-promotion. MySpace.com/clash.
I think also live sound. You farted live sound. According to live sound is a problem. There aren't enough qualified engineers on the boards. So we need better sound engineers.
Okay, now go inside. This is good.
Went inside. Okay.
What are your opinions on music influencing religion? That is gospel as well. You can say gospel side as well as the other side, which is the anti-Christ.
We're talking about DC or AD. Now AD के बाद तो the topic has been covered in every song.
I don't know, man. Like gospel, whatever, it's all cool. I mean, music at the end of the day is a form of expression, and everybody has the right to express themselves in whatever way they want. So if by talking about God, talking about Satan, it's release and let it be, man. There's space for everyone in this world. Personally, I wouldn't talk about religion. I don't know. I mean, for me, that's something personal which I keep in the home. Outside, I'm a human being person.
I think I would like to connect music at some level to spirituality, which is a lot different from religion. I know people, some of the guitarists I love and musicians that have done it. In particular, Steve Vai. I like his music because it's spiritual. It's spiritual without talking about God or the devil. So I'm all for that. Even if Kiladi gets spiritual on some song, I would love that. That's just about feeling your life is spiritual. I know, but it gets all of us. Even more.
What do you think about lack of women artists in the scene? Artists, like on stage.
You mean lack of good-looking women artists?
Lack of
Good-looking women artists or just women artists?
just women artists. In the
We
end,
have
you
a
can
song
count
about them, so that talks about Delhi.
about women artists.
Of course.
Yeah, I have it up.
We have a song called "Don't Sing to Me." It's got beautiful lyrics. You man can probably tell you about the song.
Coming back to the topic. It's cool, man. I mean, whether it's a woman on stage or it's a guy on stage, it doesn't make a difference. As long as that person on stage is up there kicking ass, it can be whoever.
No, but do you think there's a lack of women artists right now?
It's obviously a lack. There's always a lack.
They don't exist.
Who cares, man? I don't care. For me, a woman on stage would rock as much as a guy. They're doing something good.
I think it's okay if the girl is not on stage and she's joining the hobby. So she works her money.
You would
Whether
like
it is
that
as Lennon or Gulag or Larry or all the bands that you guys have played for, Kinky and all the bands. Can you share with us some experiences, something which you guys cannot forget from all this? Speaker stories.
And it's
Yeah, I know. We want stories.
I don't know. We've been playing. I've been playing since 8-9 years now. And it's just that each of the bands are playing has their own unique personalities and characters. It'll take 3 more hours to even touch the surface of what everyone is. But,
I remember something funny. We were doing a show in Manipal with a few other bands.
We
This was the-
as in
Zenith.
Zen.
And this was when we had Dean on guitar. He was our last guitarist. He used to play for Brahma before. So on the evening of the show, I went to the hotel room where he was there, and he was lying more or less naked, and my drummer was giving him a massage on the back. So I was shocked, and I was like, guys, please, this is the wrong time to tell me these things. Apparently, it was Dean couldn't stand up. He said I couldn't stand, and Vineet was just trying to massage my back because I couldn't get up, and I'm in pain. And I was like, okay, fuck it, I won't tell anyone. It's fine, but just come do the show. He's like, no, dude, I can't do the show. I can't get up. I'm like, alright, fuck it, I won't tell anyone about you guys. It's cool. So anyway, I forced him. I literally forced him. I abused him. Forced him to come and play. And it turned out that he actually had a slip disc. And he played the show. He came back to Bombay and he was in bed for 1.5 years. I feel really bad for making him play that show because I misinterpreted what I saw and forced him to play. That was really crazy. And he was asking for a chair on stage. I didn't give him a chair. I told him, no, you stand and play. Like, fuck. Like, I literally bullied him and I regret it because 1.5 years he was on big bed. And that was the end of the band also.
the experiences, definitely with PDV playing up only and first international gig in Dubai was kick-ass. Playing in the Northeast was mad. Playing Delhi GIR, playing IROC. It's like every gig was special in some way or the other. So I really can't pick and choose. But then I played with this band called 13th Hour, and they had some fucking massive caliber of musicianship in that band. It was Zoran on guitars, Jay on drums, and Sunny on vocals. I was the only odd one out who sucked, and I just managed to save my ass in that band. I was like, that took my bass playing to a whole new level. So that was another mad experience in terms of musicianship. In terms of having fun, I had fun with all the bands I played. Khiladi right now also, it's a whole new experience for me. So I'm doing vocals or something I've never done before. So it's just too many experiences to put down.
There's been one or two unforgettable experiences, but I'm not sure we can mention them on
One or two, I don't know, man. It's so many. We can't
mention them, but this has been the most fun band till date. I love playing with Khiladi, no pressures. Everyone is
no backing vocals and stuff.
no backing vocals will come tonight. No, but everyone is so upbeat. Everyone has the right attitude. No one gives a fuck about what the other bands are doing. There's no politics in the band. I love it.
I don't think I have any specific story to tell because I have many of them. Only that the experience of going all around India. I can't go outside because I was not having a passport.
You got his passport today.
So I finally got my passport today. And but places like going and playing in IIT Chennai, opening for Open, or going to Jalandhar and playing again, going to Jharkhand the next day, very next day, going to Jharkhand and playing. Then playing IROC, playing Campus Rock, headlining Campus Rock, Bangalore, Delhi, all over the place. The whole.
This question is for you now. Like you guys used to do the Sholay thing, Jay and
Oh yeah. I think that would be my most memorable gig where in Raz once we hooked up 2 drum kits and we had an outgoing drummer Jay play on 1 drum kit and a new drummer this bastard 1 drum kit and they were fucking smashing on the
He
song.
said my most memorable gig.
Memorable. Most memorable. Most memorable. Snip, 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 snip. The most memorable gig was that way. Was man like I'm playing and suddenly I can hear army marching behind me. And I turned and it just got pot lefty and mirror image that guy pot righty. So that has to be my most standout gig.
I was there at that gig and blown away. That was madness. Both of them were on fire.
yeah. So like, how did you handle the sound? That was the question.
I was playing drums, I was not handling the sound.
No, as in
Like both of you were playing the same patterns. I didn't notice.
Actually, we had practiced it. Like he might play one verse, then we both come in the chorus. Then second verse I'll play alone, then come with the chorus. But then with the whole crowd going mad, the, everybody going mad, you can't just sit there and wait for the chorus to come. So we ended up playing the whole set together, all the patterns, right from the fills to everything.
The double bass also.
The double bass, everything.
It's literally
It
army
was
march.
mad. It was mad. And they were playing perfectly. I remember that.
Because
They were
we
playing
have a footage of that. That's why I'm asking you that. What else? Yeah,
One show in Goa, most memorable was where there's this chutia called Ashwin Sharma who almost got drunk and drowned. I was getting scared. We actually counting here. Abhi marne wala hai. Abhi marne wala hai.
We are taking bets inside
We
the
are taking
band.
bets. Like, when will he drown? Because that Chut was so drunk. He's like, Mera peni mara hai. Mera hey. And then he went to swim.
That
only,
does get
his,
it.
only his stomach kept it up. Kept it up.
Yeah.
That goes in the bloopers.
Acha,
And the editor.
you guys have played a lot of venues in the entire country, a lot of places in the country, places like Chandigarh, Indore, stuff like that. Can you tell us how exactly is the audience different, in different parts compared to Bombay? How is it basically Delhi different? The Delhi
Yeah.
audience different to Bombay and
Like,
stuff like that?
Delhi right now is coming to a point where it was same as Bombay before. The Bombay crowd is very elitist in the sense they will settle for nothing but the best. If you are even an average or below average band, you're going to have no crowd in your gigs.
I think the bigger the city, the more discriminating the crowd.
Yeah,
And the smaller the city, the more. In the small cities, people are just there to have a good time. Actually, that's true for any place. But because Bombay, Delhi have got such huge scenes happening, so many bands, the
But
audience
I
is
think-
discriminating.
I think the Delhi scene right now is far way better than what the Mumbai scene is right
What else?
Add stuff.
now. Shit.
Would be the
Because
question.
we have as we said, when we were seeing PGB, VCD, we saw Guwahati guys going crazy about
Not Guwahati, Imphal.
Yeah, in
Yeah, we also played some weird places. We played Sikandarabad once, where the crowd was like, there's one chutia in the crowd who's like, no, why should we buy your CDs? Metal is for free. And I'm like, chutia, what, Slayer gave you that Slayer t-shirt for free or wearing or what? Some little retard looks you meet. And we played this one dungeon in fucking Chennai once where I think I lost 2 kgs on stage. Like June Rock Out at Dungeon they have.
Maybe 4 shows later.
Fuck, that was mad dude. And it's one NLS gig where Jay was playing drums and there was that waterfall fireworks happening and it burnt his hair because it fell on him. And when all we played, we played Delhi, we played Goa. Goa was mad. We went on stage 2 o'clock in the night. We got up at 4 o'clock. And then the crowd just wanted some fast music. Just playing. It was going wild. In the middle, there was a 5-minute break for fireworks. Played some crazy places.
I played maybe 1/10 of what he's played, but we played a few cities. Older bands and I think every place, if it's back, if you got a band that's feeling it on stage, it's almost the same. Every time it's almost the same. People going mad, you're going mad. After a while, you get into the zone. All you do is just play. I think it's more or less the same. If you're looking for a little critically, yeah, Bombay's got a very critical crowd, and I like that because you feel happier.
Sorry.
Yeah, if you're looking at it critically, I think Bombay does have a more critical crowd, and I think all the bands love that. Because if you get appreciated in Bombay, you know that you won't get beaten up anywhere else. You can go anywhere in India.
In the past 3 years, in the past 3 to 4 years, there has been a boom of managers, event managers, and
Yeah, where?
in the scene.
Boom, like audio for
Yeah, like a lot of people coming into the scene to do the stuff for the band.
only 3 or 4. I can count them. I can really count.
Okay, so what are your opinions about them?
I hope there is a boom in the near future.
Okay.
It's good. Any help the band can get is good.
Because previously there were very less people who was doing that. So
Now the realistic.
They're very less. Actually, I've been around for a while and I can tell you very honestly, uh, there are more people are doing it openly today and are making a statement saying that yes, we're doing it openly. This is going to be our career. This is what we want to do in life. There were people before this who were doing the same thing. Maybe they were more underground, but we need more people. And what you guys are doing is all good. I respect that. And you got to bring in more people with you. That's it. And it's a fun time.
What else? What can you say?
P-Man show.
Oh yeah, there is some P-Man show, right? From the blog time to the
Oh man, again I have to say. So, even shows are something like me randomly having an online thread on kickback.com and from there just randomly posting rubbish. People start following and I got a job, so I had to stop that. And then the people from Babel Fish Productions came and told me like, so we want to make like episodes of this P-Man show thing, and I gave them the concept, format, and I have complete control like what goes up. Obviously, they help me because I have no idea about production and all this, and also it helps a lot with them being my friends too. And there's absolutely zero money I'm making no money. Ulta, they are losing money from this, and I just want to do my bit in one, uh, you know, bringing in the forefront everything about Indian music that is not Bollywood, and two, just entertaining people. I always want people to smile, have a laugh, whether it's at my cost or his cost or anybody's cost. I don't care. As long as people are having a good time, it's fine with me. Sorry.
what else? Okay, so the last question would be, what are the future plans for the band?
In the immediate future, Kira is going to be coming out an EP, and then we'll try and play anywhere. Like we come.
Yeah.
Wilbur, what's happening, man? I'm just off. Yeah, so the immediate future is going to be Khiladi coming out an EP. He's fixing the. So, in immediate future, Khiladi will be coming out an EP, and we play anywhere and everywhere. Promote like we come for your wedding also, we play there anywhere. Like we come for your documentary release party, we play there also anywhere. And not because we want like we have to promote. We come play because it's a cool documentary, so we want to be more part of it. And then the plan is to shoot a music video. Let's see, it costs a lot of money, so what happens, it happens. And then after that, plan out on releasing a nice full length album and hopefully playing more shows, writing more songs, and becoming a bigger and bigger and bigger thing. Hopefully reach some of the heights that we reach. Huh? You sing, no? Any song you want to sing? Viru has a song which he wants to sing for all of you all.
Which one? Hey,
I don't think we do it. I don't think we do it. I have a particular message.
Cut.
Go to myspace.com/Khiladi, listen to our songs, join our Orkut and Facebook community, come for our gigs, buy our albums, buy our t-shirts, support us. If not, you will be gay. And don't sell your soul to fatados. Hello, Sai. No man, it's cool. I haven't said it's fatados. It's doing his shit.
जल्दी बोलना। हाँ बोल। जोर से बोल।
पहले बंद कर दिया वो अपनी हैंडल
अरे बंद कर रहा है, शूटिंग चालू है इधर, क्या कर रहे हो? टाइम है सर, हमको अंदर भी जाने का इधर. बंद कर चल. In talking down nicely, it makes no difference if you shouted at him.
This is about this gig I had with Prayag, and we were playing somewhere in Bandra, and it was close to a tourist quarter. Okay, so we were given a time limit of stop at 9 and all. It was around 8:45, and we were like in between the song. We are playing, all the crowd is enjoying and all that. In between the song, this one of the organizer guy comes on stage and he's like, "Arey, stop karo, stop karo, stop karo." So you're like, शायद cops लोग ने बोला रहेगा रुकने के लिए. So we all stopped in between the song, and this guy comes on the mic and he says कि अरे ये येलो कलर का एस्टिंग किसका है जो सामने गेट पे पार्क किया है, किसका है वो? And it was actually my vocalist का car. तो उसका चाबी दे दो, वो हटाना है. In between the song he did that. Then he took the keys from the vocalist and he went and we again played it.
This is something which came to me now. As a, you have been a part of the Hindi band as well. What do you think about the Hindi bands currently in Assam? What do you think about the Hindi? What do you think about the Indian? What do you think about the Indian bands who are into Hindi music right now? The Hindi rock bands in Bombay.
I think comparatively the scene is still growing, I can say, and there are not many good bands that I can see. But all I can say is it's growing and it's getting better.
Your message. You said you have a message.
No, I have to talk about man experience.
Yeah, you have a message. Shoot message.
Who have
Score women as many as we can. Score women.
Score one is Bangalore.
He'll score one in any fucking part of the world. He's a homo. Sorry.
Okay, anything else?
I have mad experience, like again, like in this 1 year with Khiladi, my most memorable mad instant experience was playing for the Mumbai Marathon in earlier this year, where we were playing on the promenade at Marine Drive, and then when the Dream Run started, everyone stopped. And there was this huge crowd right in front of the stage, and like they stopped running. It was like and we were like I'm playing here. Kept them on, and the cops came and threatened to take our instruments away if we got other people to pass. We stopped the marathon. We stopped the marathon. And Anil Kumble waved to me, man. The original Indian hero. Anil Kumble waved to me. As Anil Kumble waved to you, motherfucker. Your life is never complete until you get waved to by Anil Kumble. Do you know the chalk named after Anil Kumble in Bangalore? Is there a chalk named after you?
Thank God.
Why thank God, dude? Nobody pisses on that chalk over there, man. Not chalky, chalk.
Yeah, sure.
I want sometime a road to be named
I
after.
was waved by Arishna.
Now it is difficult because all the roads are very narrow.
Yeah. How will I pass? It's all good. And please don't listen to
Hashu message.
Ash's message is go to bazaar.com, buy my guitars.
Just one message.
Don't listen to my ex.
Believe in the music. Support Indian rock. Support Indian music. And if you play music, try and be a trained musician. Take all the classes you can get. Take all the help you can get. We need to raise our standards and get educated. So yeah, get educated.